All right, let's do this. Hello, my friends. Welcome back. I'm Pierre. I hope you're all doing okay. So, like usual, we are going to go over to the computer and we are going to look at a quick recap of what we did yesterday. So, yesterday was a big day because we actually started and worked on our centerpiece. And so that took quite a while. And then after we got him more or less completely done, we worked on the outer circle by doing first these little stars. Then we added our little sperms that we love so much on this channel. Then we did the highlights through these little sperms. And that's basically what we did. And then we added a touch of yellow in our yellow, a little lemon yellow on our golden yellow. So anyways, so that's what we did yesterday. And today, what are we going to do? So that is a good question. So what we're going to start off by doing is putting in the colors of the eyeballs here, some red. Then I noticed as I looked at this circle part here, I noticed that it looked a little empty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little yellow flower or yellow star in between these and let the red dry. Then we can put the black outline and get him completely done. And then hopefully we can tackle and finish off the black frame. And by tomorrow we should be done. This painting will be ready to be shipped to New York. So let's not waste any time. Let's get to the red and these eyeballs. So for that, it's not very complicated. I'm just going to get some red out right here. Get my faithful little knife, a little palette. Obviously, we have like an inch and a half to do, so we really don't need much paint. Wipe off my knife though. Always want to keep that nice and clean. There we go. And then of course we have these beautiful rags that we love so much. Then when I have a bunch of these, I frame them and I take them down to the Promenade des Anglais, the boardwalk here in Nice, and I sell them as abstract art. No, I don't. I'm just kidding. So anyways, let's get to this eyeball and get the paint here. Let me put the cap back on though, because with this heat, it must be like, I would say 85 degrees outside. So it's still pretty warm here in southern France. Nobody's complaining. Not as hot as it was for the first like 5-6 weeks of streaming, where I was just like sweating bullets nonstop. So now it's just getting to be like the perfect month. I mean, if tourists came or had to come to southern France, September is the month to come. All the way to mid-October, really. And then we don't really have a fall. Our fall here is basically 10 days of rain. And and then we have a beautiful weather, but a little crisper, a little colder for the winter. So I'm just working my little paint here. I always like getting the right texture before I do anything. It always takes a few minutes, but I guess that's part of the process. Okay, very good. So I'm going to zoom in with this camera right here before switching over. I'll move it to the side to make sure that I'm not standing in front of it, which could be rather annoying. There we go. So let me just switch over here and we will get to work. So I am putting this nice and thick to avoid having to put a second coat on. But if I have to, it's no big deal either. There we go. Just a little bit. Right there. Okay. So, very good. I will switch back to here. I will pull this camera back and leave it like that. Now I'm going to get the yellow paint. And like I mentioned, I'm going to add these little flowers, stars, whatever you want to call them. I mean, most of these things that I paint, well, I'll just switch over and show you. But like here in the background, I do all these rings, and these rings, I call them electromagnetic waves. And on top of that, I have these like bubbles, which I call planets, because I do love astrophysics. I'm fascinated by astrophysics and astronomy in general. So my terms are always kind of terms that you could find in astronomy. So that's why I don't know if these are little flowers or little stars. So it doesn't make much difference. I guess everybody can interpret it the way they want. So there we go. I have to wake up here, get in the groove. There's always that like 15-20 minute of warming up process. I guess just like in any sport or whatever, you have to warm up before you tackle the actual game. And I guess I'll use I'll use a smaller brush, I think, just for these little stars. I'm going to go with stars. And like before, I am going to I'm going to take a bigger brush to go a little quicker. And I'm going to come to the other camera. We'll do this together. And it's really no big deal, but we can still, I mean, the whole point is to share everything. So I am just going to work this yellow, which is kind of sticky and just not the texture I enjoy. So just going to add a little water. I'm also going to pull the camera back a little bit. There we go. Just work this out so it gets like a nice little creamy. There, I got some water right there. I'm going to move sideways. I'm not sure if the fan is blowing in my microphone. But I know it's quite annoying when it does happen. I mean, there are three annoying things I notice. One is the fan blowing in the microphone. The other one is me forgetting to switch cameras. And the third one is when the camera goes out of focus. Those are three little annoying things that I try to be conscious of and try to avoid. The camera going out of focus, though, sometimes I just have no control over that. It has a mind of its own, and I'm not watching really. I do have to, believe it or not, I do have to watch the painting once in a while as I paint, so I don't really know what's going on in my back with the camera. So anyways, so with that said, I'm going to zoom in towards the middle of the top here where I'm going to start. And I'm just going to add these little stars. There we go. For that, I'm going to switch brushes. get something a little smaller. Let me get that. There we go. Get the paint ready just right. And we're going to do that, I would say, about halfway. Which, of course, you can't see because the camera is not on it. Right after I just said it was so annoying. There. This should be better. Again, I'm just going to... There we go. I would say around there. I'm going to see what it looks like and decide if I'm going to add those little sperms or not. I have a feeling it would be a little too much if I did, but you never know. I can only tell once I step back and look at this from some distance. Let's say about here maybe. This is not brain surgery, so I don't have to be all that precise. Do the best we can. See, like for example here, if I did the sperms, it would be a little crowded. So, and not to do these little stars, it looks a little empty. So hopefully this will satisfy the painter. There we go. And I would say right about there. And in the middle of that, I will put a little drop of lemon yellow once that is dry. So let me step back and see what this looks like. And yes, yep, that is kind of what was missing. So that is a relief. So let me just wash off my brush, put these guys away. I might need them a little later. But with these very thin and delicate brushes, I kind of like to wash them off right away, not let them soak in the jar of water, because first of all, when they're in the bottom of the jar, the hairs tend to just crunch up and curve, of course. So I try to avoid that, and the best way to avoid that is just not to leave them in the jars. So, took care of that. I'll plug this yellow and put him away. And now I'll step back and try to make some sort of an intelligent decision, if such a thing is possible. Okay. The eyeball is almost dry, not quite. And I like starting with the eyeball. The outline of the eyes is, I always start that way because it's almost like the most difficult to do. And for some reason, I like starting off with the most difficult task. It must be a leftover from when I was a carpenter. I always started whatever I had to do that day. If I had several things, I'd always start with the hardest. in the morning. Like that, I had the whole afternoon to catch my mistakes or go to the lumber yard if I needed something or something screwed up. I had plenty of time and I could be relaxed. I would never start something complicated in the middle of the afternoon. No way. So anyways, this must be a leftover from those days. Start off and get rid of the most difficult. Though everything else is kind of difficult as well. Got to have a steady hand. And you know what? Instead of just standing around blabbing around, I'm going to get the black paint ready to tackle the outline of this person. Because once he's done, once this centerpiece is finished, then I can concentrate on this frame where I want to add a little bit of gold stars in the middle. And I'm just hesitant about that part. I know I'd like to add some sperms, blue sperms, but I'll really know when it's time to actually do the work. So let me just get a little palette together here and get the black paint together. Hopefully all this will go smoothly. Sometimes it just goes perfectly smooth. Everything is harmonious. Then sometimes it's a real struggle, which is no big deal, which means that I just have to go back and fix with blue and fix up the screw-ups, which I kind of hate doing. I like that Japanese approach of like in calligraphy. What goes down stays down. Try to get it right on the first shot. That is always what I kind of try to aim for. Jesus, look at that. Making a mess of myself with this friggin' rag. There you go. I mean, my abstract artwork. There you go. Because I got a brand new rag and I have to use the old piece of junk. That's totally, well, whatever. Whatever. Okay. Now, getting the right texture of this black paint is going to be also very important because I want it to be opaque. There's no way I'm going to go twice over. So it has to be very fluid and yet at the same time very opaque. So to do this, I am going to get a wider brush to go quicker. Something a little more firm like this. This guy here, and I'm going to switch over to the other camera so we can do this together. Okay, I'll do that right now. So let's switch to number 1, which I'll bring down. I mean, this is really it's not brain surgery. It's just black paint and water. And we're just going to work this, blend it together to get nice. There we go, maybe a little more water. Now I can feel the fan, it feels great, but I hope it's not blowing in the microphone. I'm trying to put my back to it, or at least a shoulder. Try to. So now that looks like it's just about right. You can see it's nice and creamy, very fluid, but yet not watery. No, I don't have to fear it dripping and screwing up the piece. No, it's just right. So I'm getting everything centered in the middle. Then I'm going to go back and we're going to switch go back and then switch cameras for a few seconds. Just the time to rinse off the brush. And more importantly, find the right brush I'm going to be doing this guy with. Okay. I would think I want to start off with this. And then what? Okay, I'm not sure. I'm going to start off with this guy. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. And hopefully this will do the trick. Just step back for 1 second. Because if I don't see what I'm going to do, I'm going to be in trouble. I have to see it to paint it. Okay, I'm a little nervous. I must admit, a little nervous with this paintbrush. But this is the kind of situation where you have no choice. You got to go for it and hope for the better, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Okay. Well, so far I lucked out. Okay, I did do one little screw up there. I'm just not totally convinced of this paintbrush, so I've never used it before on this kind of a situation. Okay, why not? Okay, I'm going to have to switch brushes for this next section. So this is exactly what I was saying earlier. Forget to pull back the camera. But when you're concentrated, you can't think of everything, unfortunately. So let's move on to the next part. I am going to put a little bit of music on, like that. I don't have to talk and can just concentrate. Let's just keep plugging away, get this first coat down. We'll see afterwards about fixing and bringing things into perfection. am going to sit down for this next section here. Ça va? Good, good. C'est Diego. Diego? Ouais. Diego, Jacek et Lucien. Ouais. Okay, so there we go. There we go. So I'm just going to bring down the music for a few seconds as we check this out. And I am going to zoom in. So we got this part done. And I just want to zoom in because since we do share everything here and we definitely believe in demystifying the artist and art in general, I just want to show you, like right in here, as you can see, I am going to have to fix just with a little bit of blue this part right here. You know, there's that little black that bothers me. So I wish I had been able to, I'm so used to painting these kind of people on larger scale that, anyways, so I'm going to have to fix that. Probably have to fix one or two other things, which I was hoping not to do because now I'm going to have to try to match the blue. And it's not that obvious, believe it or not, to match all these colors. So anyways, so part one of today's work is kind of done. I'll just bring this in so we can see the center part. And now I kind of have to figure out what am I going to do here? So I do have a vague idea of what I would like to see. Now I'm talking about the black frame. My mind is already going to that area of the painting. So I'm also looking at what we've done today, these yellow little stars, which I'm happy we did do because it does look so much better. It looked empty. Something was wrong. And if I put, like I said earlier, the sperms right now, it would be too crowded. So it just worked out just fine. What I am going to do is put that yellow, just a little yellow, lemon yellow dot inside of that golden star just to make me happy. Let's put it that way. Nobody was ever going to see it. But I am doing this to make myself happy as well. So let's just, don't need much really, just a little dot. And let me see, maybe I can zoom in with this camera enough. I'll even zoom in more if that doesn't go out of focus, which I'm always afraid of. And like that, you can see exactly how ridiculous this little dot is on something this small. Look at that. Made all the difference. Right? I think I can add a 0 to my check just thanks to that dot. Okay, I'll just do the others really quickly rather than stupid things, which I seem to do a lot. There we go. Dot, dot, dot. Okay. I'll come back. Just check out the last few dots on the bottom. I'm sure you can't see what I'm doing, but what the hell. Just a tiny little, there we go. There, so did I get them all? Wow. Yes, I guess I did. So I'll bring this guy back out. Actually, it's two paintings in one, the centerpiece and the outer piece, but whatever. So let's rinse off these brushes. Just want to make sure this is really kind of clean here. Oh. Okay, where am I at here? Where am I? I'm thinking of three things at the same time, and I can't help it. I guess that's part of the process. And I am still debating and thinking what to do next on this black frame. I know what I want to do, I am just not sure. Okay, screw it. Sometimes you just got to go for it. And that's what I'm going to do. I am going to go for it right now. So for that I have to make some blue, some light blue cerulean paint. I'm not going to use yesterday's palette. I'm going to try to get something like this. Okay. So, cerulean blue and white paint. So, I'm going to come on. Maybe with the leftover of this blue, I will be able to fix the centerpiece. Okay, blue, white. And let's use this. This is probably the brush I'm going to use anyways. Get my faithful knife out. Get my hair out of the way as well. There we go. Okay, so let me think here. Do I have the right size brush? I don't want these sperms that I'm going to paint. I'm going to paint 4 of them right here. I don't want them too big. So the brush again is a vital part of the process. Maybe I'll just switch over to this one. Okay, I'll paint with that one. And I'll use this one for the mixing. There we go. So I'm just going to come back here and stop the music for a second. There we go. Get some water and this together. I'm making quite a bit here, but it doesn't matter. So actually, why don't we do this together? I'll come back over here. I will put this chair back, which had the water on it. Should have done all this before, so things are a little smoother. There we go. Okay, so let's get back down here and let's try to make a nice and beautiful light blue. Again, having the right colors is important, but having the right texture is probably even more important. So, you can see the light blue is starting to define itself. I'll just add more water, even more water there. And then let's just blend this in together. Get that nice baby blue, baby cerulean blue. There, that's looking like a nice color, except it's way too thick. Doesn't matter. Let's get everything nice and homogeneous, and then we'll add water to get the texture we like. So, wipe this off. Get more of this water here. I'll just bring this down a little bit like that. There we go. It's still awfully thick. thick as a brick. Okay, I'm just going to work in just this little area right here because I don't think I'm going to need all that blue. So let's just concentrate here so we can move on. Well, we're getting there. It's still a little, I would say a little thick. So let's just add one more little few drops of water. Oh, that looks good. Okay. Now all I need is the right paintbrush. This one here is a little too big. My painting would be sloppy if I used that. So I'm going to bring the camera up before I zoom in late in a few seconds. And we're going to start off with that upper left-hand corner. But I'll zoom in a few seconds. First, I'm going to come over here, find the right paintbrush that I'm going to be using. So I said I'd go with this one. Why am I hesitating? Why am I just not satisfied with what I have here? Just going to put this one aside just in case I don't like it or it doesn't work out the way I want it to. It should. So I am going to just come back here for a few seconds. Let's see. Okay. So I am going to move this stuff out of here because I'm going to use this as a stool for me to get up there. This big paint can. There we go. That's all that I wanted to share so you know what's going on and get you involved in everything I do. I'm going to move this back a little bit. Move this over to the side so I won't be in front of the camera. Bring this up. Zoom into where we're going to be working. Right in that area, I guess. And let's do this. So I'll put on the dual thing. There we go. Okay. Okay, that went pretty well, except that I had a lot of water on my brush. So just dry that out. And let's continue. Okay, I'll probably have to go over this one later, just because of all the water that was in the brush. There we go. All right, there we go. And we are going to do the same thing basically on that other corner. So I'll bring this camera over just a tad. Too close. There we go. Now in theory, this is a black background. Normally I should have put a white coat of paint on first, then the cerulean, but I probably would have needed 2 coats of cerulean anyways, plus the coat of shadowing. So I would have to have done 4 passes. Cerulean is one of the colors that covers the best. So I'd rather just go with the 2 coats of cerulean paint, and the result will be exactly the same, and I will have saved just a little bit of time. So all that to say what? Well, that I'm going to need 2 coats of blue. Probably. Most likely. There we go. Pull the camera back for a few seconds. Move everything backwards. And I'll zoom back in this lower end where we're going to go next. Except that I'm going to use my chair. Oops, where am I going? Here we go. Get my chair here. I'll push this to the side again, which always makes a weird optical deformity. And before I continue, I'm going to take a sip of water. Yes. Chin chin. Oof, that's just what the painter needed. Okay, let's get back to work. There we go. Very good, and I can see right here, already going to need a second coat, but no point wasting time. Get that out of the way for now. Come here, my friend. There you go. There we go, there we go. One more to go. Okay, very good. Pull this baby back. Yes, well, this is definitely going to change the whole outlook of this painting, for sure. And it's not even done yet, because when I put the gold, it's going to look totally different again, really. But that's kind of the fun thing, right? So since I have this blue, how does it match with this blue here? It looks a lot lighter. And it is. So, where's my clean rag? There you are. Put a little saliva here. Get rid of this. There we go. And see if I can't make this light blue a little bit darker so I can, while the sperms are drying, try to match and fix my little boo-boos. I do need water here. Let me come over here then. So, here, let me pull this back over here. I kind of moved everything around. we go. Whoops. Pull that back. There we go. Camera number 2 is fixed. What's number 1 doing? Number 1 is okay too. Kind of sometimes go back to where we all started. There we go. I'm going to get a little water in here. I do have to take time and stop painting once in a while and make sure that everything is in sync, which isn't always obvious. Now, what's this blue look like? And I know this blue is going to darken as it dries. So this is pretty good, except that, like before, too much water on the brush, which is a perfect recipe for trouble. So I got rid of that and replacing the water with paint. Okay, so how is this doing here? Yes, I am trying to fix everything that doesn't please me. And no one will ever know. This will be our secret. There we go. I'll put There we go. Very good, very good. So where are we at here? I'm not even sure what camera we're on. Totally lost it here for a second. This is where we're at. And I just want to do one more thing right here. Since I painted with the knife, there's a lot of texture. So to go over the texture with the paintbrush is always kind of a challenge. There we go. Voila, there we go. That makes me happy. Okay, very good. Very good, very good, very good. So, we are going to have to do what I consider a brush run. So I'm just going to turn the camera over like this for a few seconds so you can see what's going on in the studio, because I am going to pull that back, switch over to camera number 1 for a few seconds, because I'm going to bring camera number, well, this is camera number 1. So switch to camera number 2. And I'm putting camera number 1 so you can see my little kitchen area, because I am going to go back there and I am going to, I am going to take my water and paint brushes that I used so far, and I'm going to wash them right away because they're all very thin, very fragile, and they're too for me to neglect. I used to feel guilty about doing this, since we all know that we're, well, this is an important part. Guilty anymore about taking the time to would say, well, can't you wait till the end of the show to clean your brushes? But no, I can't. When the brushes are happy and I'm happy and everybody's happy. So clean that one. These brushes are so good. A 16th of a 16th. They are extremely fragile. And that's why I want. There we go. There we go. And might as well get some fresh water while we're here. Up. All the brushes. Voila. Clean water, clean brushes. We can start anew. And I'll pull this back. Get back to its original position here. And the same with you, my guy. Get back here into your original position as well. Oops, pull you back. And you up just a whisker like that. Okay. Sorry about all that. So where are we here? Where are we? We are going to step back and actually look at the painting, which I haven't done yet. I don't take the time to. I have things in my mind and I don't actually look at the at the results or what I'm doing. So, which is a good thing, because I just saw something also that I want to fix. I'm going to do that right away. And for that, what color? Okay, the lighter, darker blue. Okay. I just want to go in and fix, let's just wipe my hands clean and fix this guy's thumb. Okay, there we go. My brush is dirty. No, it's not. It's fine. Okay, so step back and take a look again. Okay, so when you get down towards the end, I'm going to just come over here for a second. When you get towards the end of the painting, that is when you fix all these little screw ups and just tidy the whole thing up. And I see in the centerpiece where I did my flowers and my plants that there are a few things that I want to tidy up. I have black paint right now. I'm going to do that right now. So what I'm talking about, I'm going to zoom in and show you exactly what I'm talking about. And I'll do it right here, for example. Right here. I'll switch over to camera number 1. And you'll see right here the black paint. I had all this masked and taped when I did my splattering. And you can see the black paint doesn't come all the way down, especially here as well. So I'm just going to take my paintbrush and I am going to just fix that. I'm going to cheat. And no one will ever know except you and me. And where is my black paint? Right here. So, get a little bit of water to get, because this is probably all dried up. Yep, just about. So, okay. So I'm just going to take let's start here. Now, just like that, just cheating a little bit. And keep, of course, the movement together. Just like that. And when it dries, no one will ever notice. And I have a little bit more to do right up here. Right there. Just a little bit right here as well. I mean, we are perfectionists here, right? We are professionals. So we're trying to do the best job possible. And we're going to go back down here as well. I'm going to add just a little bit here because, there we go. And maybe just here as well. And this down to the edge, right like that. And why not? Maybe just completely cheat and add a stem right there. Maybe a blob there too. A blob in the stem, like that. There we go. And here, the same thing. I'm going to go. Of course, you can't see anything because it's so zoomed in. Apologize for that. And I'm going to just go right here and bring him right down to the purple edge. There we go. Just like that. So I've corrected a little bit here, 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 and here, and here. And you'll never know. Never notice. So, Okay, looking good. And as I look, I keep finding little mistakes to fix, right? But that's part of the process of the finishing touches. And this is the, what am I looking for? Okay, right in here. Let's be careful now. Very good. There we go. And this is kind of where I have to be careful because I have this tendency to always want to do a little more, a little better, a little more, a little better. And c'est pas possible. Okay, see what I mean? I'm starting to run into trouble because I'm overthinking this thing. And I'm not only overthinking it, but I'm using paint that's already kind of dry and which isn't flowing the way I want it to. So before I screw up and start screaming, I'm going to just stop there and I'm going to put the second coat of the sperms. So it's been like an hour and a half already. Okay, good day's work. Okay, well, I think I'm going to call it quits for today. Tomorrow we'll finish off the black frame. Let me get back here, camera here. Tomorrow we'll finish the black frame and this painting. Actually, we have finished the centerpiece today, and all we got to do is do these sperms, finish these sperms, add some little gold stars, and then we'll call it quits. Then we ship this painting out. Finally, 4 weeks. We started this 4 weeks ago, so very good. Very good. I'm sure tomorrow we'll find a whole bunch of other little things we have to fix to just bring it all together, I guess. And tomorrow should be a relatively short day, so which is no problem, at least not for me. So I'm going to come back here, I guess, to the main computer, and I'm going to thank you for joining me this morning, today. I hope you all have a wonderful day the rest of the day. I hope you'll join me tomorrow. We'll be here at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And like usual, I'm going to leave you with my schedule, and I'm going to say, ciao, mes amis.